Good morning, y'all. We're gonna go check on the storm from the hurricane. It's actually still sprinkling, but I want to come out here and look at stuff because it was supposed to be raining most of the day, so it's not gonna be a long video. But we got, luckily, not a significant amount of damage and our power's not off. There are a lot of people in our area with the power off, and I feel for those people who had serious damage from the hurricane throughout the eastern United States. And the Midwest, but I haven't been able to get out here yesterday because it rained over 12 hours and then it rained until it got dark. So I wasn't able to see anything when it stopped raining a little bit last night. But things are looking really, really rough, and I think this is going to be part of my fall cleanup. Let's just pan the camera around so you can see some of these things may recover, but we're getting rain over the next couple days. I mean, look at my super petunias. I'm going to turn the camera around. So I'm going to show some footage from yesterday and the winds we got. I actually came out here in my swimming trunks and in the rain and tied down my Rising Sun Redbud because it was blowing almost at a horizontal and I was afraid the trunk was going to snap. It is braced with a stake from the grower, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't getting any serious damage. The roses look a little rough where I didn't get to trellising them up, so I'll need to come through and tie those up. The problem is we're going to have more rain nearly all weekend, so I'm not going to be able to get out here much. The grasses look horrible. Maybe when they dry out they'll perk back up, but the video that I just shot that you saw was shot Thursday evening and all this happened Friday, so this grass is also completely flattened. All of these annuals down here, there are a lot of straight line winds from a direction that typically doesn't come. Our storms, usually this bed is pretty protected from the western to eastern favored or traveling weather that we have. So you can see through here where it just kind of flattened a lot of the garden. Now I probably have a couple broken branches on this, but these are lower branches where I tied this up that I would rather them be broken because they're probably going to be cut off anyway as this is limbed up. But you can see I come out here and I just staked it gently, and I'll clean that up when the weather cooperates a little more. Not had any issues, but I did mention in the last video, these get top heavy because they put on so much growth compared to the trunk. So that's a sign for you to watch out for those redbud varieties. I did have some limbs. I don't think I had any tree damage, serious tree damage, but a lot of limbs from the maples fell right here. I'll have to come through and clean a lot of this up. There's just tiny limbs and some broken ones. Nothing too serious though, which I'm thankful for. I did come out Thursday night and laid down my magnolia and this tree because I heard that there were going to be really bad winds, and so I didn't want them getting damaged or tearing something up if they were to fall over. But overall, other than a few things, we're looking okay. I'm surprised these sun patients look as good as they do considering, but all of the annuals, most of the annuals that are a little more fragile. Oh no. We have this completely got pulled out of the ground, so I'll come in and stake this up and push this down today. It's not been in the ground that long, so the damage, you can see it just kind of, it's not even rooted in yet. So I need to take care of that. I think what I'm most sad about that I can't actually fix, even though it's later in the season, are these containers. They looked so good, and the begonias had gotten so big, and they are just, they'll have to be pulled out. They look horrific. It's like awful. I'm just gonna survey all of these beds really quickly. Most everything looks a little wind blown. I'm glad I staked up this redbud. Should have seen it yesterday in the wind. I could see it through the window. You could see how all the leaves are kind of facing that way from the wind. The leaves look like they're in good shape though, and I don't see any broken branches immediately from this, so it's really shocking. A lot of my trees fell over that I had planted here, so I'll grab those and pick those up, including even these 1-gallon containers down here were blown over. Looks like we've got some broken branches back here. Oh, and over there. These trees, from best I can tell, are ash. So they're probably infected with emerald ash borer anyway. But got some broken branches here in the tree line. This is going to be a focus over the next couple years, cleaning this up, because there's a lot of honeysuckle in here and other things that need to be cleaned up. But this tree right here I'd been concerned about for a while, and that's going to be a problem. So I have to have some of that stuff cleaned up. Lots of big branches here on the bottom. So these things, when they're infected with the emerald ash borer, they can still live for a bit, but they just get weaker and weaker. You can see all of those branches there just snapped, and those are the ones that are having the issues. All of the little things that I've planted look okay. I've not planted anything that's kind of top heavy over the past couple months, so there shouldn't be any issues with anything falling over. Got some dahlias that fell over. I'm kind of glad this happened at the end of the season though, so I wasn't dealing with any of this earlier. So it's going to take a while to clean even this little stuff that I have going on up. You can see the Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus is basically flattened. So I'm glad I didn't plant anything closer to it. Not seeing any other damage, thank goodness, other than everything looks a little windblown, which hopefully it'll recover when the rain stops and it gets some more sunlight. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. There's not much I can do a whole lot today. It's basically throwing a fine mist constantly from the remnants of that, and I think it's going to be doing that over the next few days. But I'm going to clean up the stuff that's most at issue, like the down containers in the shrub bay, and fixing that juniper over there, blue arrow juniper, because that's not good at all. Basically ripped out of the ground. So hopefully that'll be okay this close to winter. And I need to trellis up those roses, but I don't know that I'll get to that today either, because that'll be a messy job. Hopefully it'll stop raining, or there'll be at least a little break. Can come out here and get some of this stuff done. Y'all for joining me on this little walk around this morning. A few things to do and clean up. I hope you're safe where you're at, and remember, be a light. Take care. Bye.